PYFL All-Star Youth Football is presented by Nationwide Insurance. Contact your local agent, David Noma, at 661-254-1714. That's 661-254-1714. Nationwide is on your side. Welcome back to Moore Park High School for the third quarter. This is the junior game, the AFC and the NFC. And so in the black is the AFC. They have a commanding 22-0 lead over the red. They dominated all sides of the ball. And it looks like the referee said, oh, wait a minute, you're going in the opposite direction. So we're going to have a little switcheroo here at Moore Park as we get ready for the third quarter. I'm Jake Downey alongside Toy Cook, an 11-year NFL veteran, a Super Bowl champion, also won a college baseball title at Stanford. And Toy, what did you see in the first half?
What we saw earlier, it looks like the AFC domination. They were able to move the ball up and down the field. They maintained field position, and they've gotten pretty much all the breaks. It's going to be interesting to see what the conversation at halftime was to get the NFC, on the scoreboard.
So this is Carmel Crunk, who is just a load at running back from the Palmdale Falcons chapter, and he's going to kick off. Let's see if he can put some boot into it. Instead, he's going to squib it, and it's going to be picked up by number 15, Caleb Alvery of the Thousand Oaks Titans. And Caleb with a funky-looking helmet there. But, hey, if it helps him keep his melon in place, that's just fine by me. And he has a nice run back down to about the 26-yard line. So the NFC with their most forward progress of the afternoon, and they're going to set up shop with a short field, 1st and 10 from the AFC 26.
And he got a great block on the sideline. And said object on his head is, obviously they're trying to lessen the impact. And we used to call that, remember the Jetsons, the Great Kazoo, with the big helmet, big hat?
Remember your teammate on the Niners, George Wallace, had one of those too.
Yeah.
Or Steve Wallace.
Steve Wallace.
George is his brother, is a talented comic.
George is his uncle.
All right, same family. You got me.
Steve is from Auburn and blocked for Bo Jackson. So I used to be great to get some Bo Jackson stories from Steve Wallace.
No, I can't get enough Bo Jackson stories.
One of the greatest athletes ever, in my opinion, baseball and football. Big and fast and strong.
All right, so here comes the NFC as we stride down memory lane. Back to present day, the NFC with a 2nd and 9, and they're going to throw.
Got him. Nice catch.
Complete. So that's Manny Barrera of the Moore Park Musketeers in the bright red jersey and then the green helmet and the yellow pants. Looking very Oregon-ish. Nice grab by Manny. It's about a 6-yard gain. And so now we're looking at about a 3rd and 4 as the NFC tries to get towards the end zone and maybe cut into this AFC lead of 22-0.
Yeah, good job by Manny, who was playing tight end on a drag route, was wide open, had the layout to get that ball. It would have been interesting if he would have got it in stride.
A little pre-snap adventure. Maybe the cadence threw him off. And that 5 yards is going to be a free gift of real estate that moves the chains for the NFC.
Well, I think that was on 2, and it got them a cheapy first down, which is a smart play. These are the type of plays that you need coming out of halftime down by 22. What you would like here is the score now. Get yourself back in the game. Big drive.
All right, so Stanley Espinosa of the North Oxnard Warriors under center.
Uh-oh.
And might they have given back those 5 yards? It appears they have. And so the NFC with a little bit more real estate to cover now. Push back 5 yards.
He giveth and he taketh away.
Although significant about the first 5 yards is it got him a first down. So this at 1st and 15 with a fresh set of plays is manageable. Let's see if they can make something of it.
Yeah, I think Manny Barrera, I think they were going to probably run that same play to the opposite side. He got a little excited, moved early. 1st and 15.
So Espinosa surveying the scene. He's going to take the snap and hand off. Still on his feet. Brandon Santana Romero. A lot of motion, a lot of movement, not a lot of positive real estate. And so we're looking at a 2nd and 16.
Yeah, Lance Lysham and Carmel Crunk and DeJuan Walker all converging on that play to keep it at 2nd and 15. I think for the NFC to move the ball, I think they're going to have to throw it. They're going to have to throw it down the field.
Well, ultimately you have nothing to lose. It's an all-star game. Nobody's going to really remember the result.
Except for YouTube.
Well, there's laundry on the field. 3rd straight play. It looks like the defense handed back 5 yards.
Here we go.
The public address announcer here has been rather amusing.
Yes, he has.
Not only is he rocking the vintage Jim Brown Cleveland Browns jersey, but his description of the jumping off sides is something we're going to have to go figure out what he's saying because we can't really hear it in this hermetically sealed box and relay it to you.
Which, you know what? As you said, we have probably one of the greatest views from this box right here. And it was earlier. It's only 78 degrees.
All right, out of the shotgun.
There it is. Oh.
NFC's going to throw to no one. And it's going to fall harmlessly to the turf. And now we've got a 3rd down play.
I think 11 guys are going off, 11 guys coming on.
Well, you want to stay fresh? I guess you sub them all out.
It is an all-star game.
Now, generally, I've seen, defensive fronts switch out. But never 11 for 11.
11 for 11. You know you have a good team when you can go 11 for 11 switch out.
Right. All right, so Espinosa with 4 receivers split. And Santana Romero next to him, staying home to block. Espinosa short hops his receiver. Intended for Manny Barrero, who may have lost his footing underneath him. And now it's a 4th down play. Well, nothing to lose here by going for it. It's 22-0. You're down. You need to cut into that lead.
Well, I just hope that whatever ball he throws, it's past the 1st down marker. Right? Because look where we are. You might as well throw it in the end zone. Take your chances. And I would try to throw it at least down by the 5-yard line. Give yourself a chance.
These young men are the most talented in their division, but they're also not used to playing with each other. So here's Espinosa on a 4th and 11. Needing to make something happen, and he's going to throw.
Ooh.
Complete. And that's a 1st down. Isaiah Green of the North Oxnard Warriors. We were privileged to meet his mom and his sister at the half, and he makes a big-time play there to move the chains and give his guys a fresh set of downs from the 5. We've got a 1st and goal.
I mean,
5 yards out.
How about that? Isaiah Green out of the North Oxnard Warriors. You were correct. Are correct. We did have the pleasure of meeting his mom and sister, and they said he had good hands. And we saw it right there. And I think he got both feet pro style in.
Both rocking their customized number 7 long sleeve jerseys. But that's what parents will do.
It's what they should do. Looks like we have a timeout with the NFC red.
I'm going to take this moment to thank the guys that have been hustling for us all day here on an unexpectedly hot day in Moore Park. We'll start with our cameramen, Rick Nyberg and Victor Pansareff and Bob McCall and Tanner Nava and Trevor Connor. Also, our announcer who left us for the day, Randy Rosenblum. I think we'll be okay without him, but we miss him.
We miss him.
And also our production assistants, Charlie Downey and Paul Pressman, who helped us out earlier in the day. We sure appreciate their help. We have another announcer coming for the 4th game, Mike Carlucci. Mike Carlucci, a former Dodger public address announcer, a golden-throated wonder, and also a play-by-play man, headed off to Korea to announce hockey at the next Winter Olympics in February. So he is a man for all seasons and a man who definitely travels the world.
Well, it just goes to show you know how to pick them.
Back to present day. And here is the NFC. They are in the end zone and on the board. Caleb Alvery carries it across the Thousand Oaks Titans chapter. And so the red-clad NFC stars are on the board. It's 22-6 pending the extra point.
Well, if you recall, Caleb Avery got the kickoff to start, had a nice run on the kickoff return, started this series, ended it with the touchdown.
Well, it's a nice bookend to a drive that, boy, the NFC sure needed to have any chance of thinking of staying around in this game. And so they are an extra point away from being 14 points down.
And if they convert right here, they're one score away. They're in this game now.
So let's see what Espinosa can do. He's going to fake the handoff and roll out. And that's complete for the deuce. That was number 8 to number 8. Stanley Espinosa of the North Oxnard Warriors throws it. On the other end is Robert Dixon of the Thousand Oaks Titans, both number 8. And so Ocho and Ocho make Ocho.
And earlier today, Randy Rosenblum asked me what are the odds of having the same number in on the same play. And that's the second time today that has happened. We had 2 number 2s in on a play, but that is the first 8-to-8 connection.
All right, so we've got 3 8s because it put 8 points on the board for the NFC. And so now we have a tally of 22-8. The AFC leads the NFC, and boy, the NFC needs to get the ball back here if they want to try to keep staying in this game. And this is about the time that the AFC is saying, how about a bone-crushing, soul-crushing 9-minute drive? But that's why we call it a great game of football. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know what happened. Earlier today, we saw a kickoff bounce off of the lineman in the front, a bullet, and they get the ball back. This right here is a turnover waiting to happen.
All right, so the NFC with a spring in their step, they're going to kick off. It's going to be high and short to the up back.
Taywan Walker.
And Walker still on his feet. He's going to be hogtied just short of the 50-yard line, and did he put the ball on the ground? Recovered by his own guy, Brandon Orrick, so the AFC will set up shop just short of midfield.
And we don't know which 21 that was. Was it Andrew Marquez or Jordan Navarro or Henry Borjas? But they came in and caused that fumble with the pursuit and that hit.
All right, we'll once again give credit to all three.
All three.
Marquez, Borjas, and Navarro. We give you equal credit, although whether it's deserved or not, of your names.
You want to say your name.
3 lucky 21s. That was my number in high school baseball, but that has nothing to do with anything.
Give me some good 21s. Who was some famous 21s in baseball? And I know you'll know this.
I'm definitely partial to the Dodgers.
I think Deion was 21 in football. Deion Sanders.
Yeah, LaDainian Tomlinson.
Uh-oh.
Ball's on the ground. Wow. Well, that was definitely making some chicken salad there. You put the ball on the ground, you end up with positive yards anyways. The football gods are smiling on you.
They are smiling on you. All they need, especially if you're the NFC, is the turnover.
Well, these two teams coached capably. The NFC by David Barrera. And the AFC by Joe Aguiar. And we've got more laundry on the field. Looks like motion by the AFC, and they're going to be pushed 5 yards further away from their stated goal. And so now they're looking at about a 2nd and 13 from the 42. Well, Toy, it's been an enjoyable day of football here at Moore Park High. Glorious sunny skies, warm weather, some would say a tad hot, and good football played by these young men who were privileged to be chosen to these teams. So the handoff here goes to one of the number 25s.
And the tackle by Moses Enriquez, number 75, big Moses Enriquez.
I'm going to go with Devin Wilson of the Palmdale Falcons because it sure looks like he had a green helmet there, but I may get some angry phone calls about that.
At least it won't be on Twitter.
Our public address announcer confirms it was Devin Wilson of the Palmdale Falcons. And Devin, glad to call your name. Congrats on being chosen to this game, and let's see if you got any more tricks up your sleeve. And we have timeout.
Timeout. You know, one of the things that Randy Rosenblum and I talked about was the importance of timeouts and how valuable they are. And speaking of timeouts, we'll take one right now. We'll be back in a minute from Moore Park High School.
Back to the action here at Moore Park High. We've got a 3rd and 12. And the AFC is going to keep it on the ground and nothing doing there. Maybe a yard pickup. And so the AFC has to figure out what they want to do. Miguel Benales with the stop. Benales out of the Fillmore Bears chapter. We've been calling his name a lot today. He's been busy.
He's been all over the field. Like I said, one of the few players with just a single digit, but it seems like there's 3 of him on the field.
So now a big play for the AFC. So for the first time in this game, the NFC has a little bit of momentum. They punched in an 8-point touchdown. They're down by 14, and if they get a stop here, they've got a short field to try to cut this to a 1-score game. About 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And the AFC,
they're coming this way.
Let's see what they can do. They're going to throw. Oh, a lot of pressure. And taken down by one of our magnificent 21s. Marquez, Navarro, and Borjas. Of course, not all 3 were in on that tackle, but...
Let me see. He's coming over to the sideline. And it looks like...
That's a big-time play.
That was a big-time play.
For the NFC trying to get back in this game, they sure needed that. So that has the effect of being a turnover.
That was Andrew Marquez. That's right, number 21.
So Marquez,
with a big sack
play. So let's see what his guys can do now that they have the ball. And they're going to stay on the ground. Not much there. Brandon Santana Romero out of the North Oxnard Warriors chapter. He's going to get tied up after maybe a yard, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, this game is starting to get interesting. Heading towards the 4th quarter. 3.5 left in the 3rd. 22-8. The AFC leads the NFC. But the NFC keeps hanging around.
They're staying right there. I mean, Jake White, number 87, in on that tackle. But they're 1 score away from it getting a little hairy and a little scary. Pass.
Right, so Espinosa is going to throw, and he's going to go deep. Complete.
Oh!
Right through the hands. Well, we're going to keep this in triplicate and say Marquez, Navarro, and Borjas just couldn't corral that one. And so it's just a long incomplete. And we'll do it again at 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Jordan Navarro, in the immortal words of Jake Downey, will be seeing that in his dreams or nightmares or YouTube.
Well, I don't cheer for a winner, but I cheer for kids to have good things happen to them. So all I can say is I hope Mr. Navarro has a big play in his future.
Oh, he has a big play. That's why he's here. He's an all-star.
All right, so let's see what the NFC can do here on 3rd and 10. They're going to pass again. Espinosa going deep again, and just as we thought about, he goes back to Marquez, but it's a different result. That's going to be picked off, and the AFC is going to take the ball, and they snuff out the threat.
It's an interception.
Well, so the AFC picks it off. And the clock winds at 2.5 to go, third quarter, here at Moore Park High. So for a moment there, we had a ball game. But now the AFC has a chance to get into the fourth quarter with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead. And just as the clock ticks, it gets tougher and tougher for the NFC to mount a 2-score comeback. But we say that, and you never know what's going to happen.
You never know. That's why they play the game.
So the AFC with 4 split out. They're going to throw.
Wow.
Tough protection, and down he goes. Looks like he might have gotten dinged for a face mask there. Eddie Rosales and Moses Enriquez.
Nice.
Jacob Medina may have been in there, but I think Kirk West, the referee, saw something there on that tackle.
Personal foul, face mask.
And that's just a killer.
Killer.
For the NFC. Big time play, puts him behind the chains, and suddenly hand him free 15 yards.
And an automatic first down, right?
Yeah, and I tell you, when you make that kind of tackle, you're not reaching out to get his face mask. You're just trying to get a body part of some kind. But then your hand gets tangled in that face mask, and, you know, bad things happen. They have that rule for a reason.
It was a hustle play, not trying to do it. See if he'll come back and make another play.
So the handoff here into the body pile goes Vigor. And Vigor looks like he gets across the first down marker, and that's going to move the chains. So we're inside of 2 minutes left in the third quarter. 22-8, the AFC leads the NFC. And the AFC, once again, looking for a long drive.
Well, I'm still trying to process that Alabama score you just told me.
Auburn 26, Alabama 14.
So Miami, the number 2 team, loses this weekend. And the number 1.
Remember, by the time the people watch this on YouTube, it'll all be settled.
That is true. Ooh, nice little cut.
So Vigor, the ball carrier on first down, picks up about 3 as we tick towards a minute left in the third.
Yes, Moses Enrique on the tackle, big number 75, North Oxnard Warriors.
Well, we see their white helmets all over the field. And so the AFC with some work to do here, 2nd and 7. That's Oric in motion. And they're going to throw the ball here. Aguiar gets buried. Wow. Wow. Roland Espinosa with the big stick there. Once again, the North Oxnard Warriors, and that's a big-time play for the NFC. All right, so the NFC needed a big-time defensive play, and they got it right there. That may have been the last play in the quarter. It's hard to tell where the play clock stands because it's in a referee's pocket. But with 12 seconds and counting, it remains to be seen whether the AFC can get off another play.
I wouldn't snap this ball.
Didn't take your advice. They're going to stay on the ground and pitch out. That's Davis with some, but not a lot. And that's going to end the quarter as the AFC is looking at a 4th and 9, 4th and 10. So we're going to step aside here at Moore Park High School and come on back for the 4th and final quarter. The AFC leads the NFC 22-8 in the Junior PYFL All-Star Game.